Hi, welcome to this session of question and answering here at Excel Orthodontics. I'm Dr. Paul Huang. And in this session, we're going to go ahead and try to answer some commonly asked questions pertaining to appliances that we might use here. So one of the first ones that people I think confuse is, what is a separator? And so a separator is going to be a little rubber disc that we place between your teeth so that it will open a small space if we have to place a band, orthodontic band, around a tooth. It's a metal band. Separators do not imply an expander or a rapid palatal expander. We will cover that very shortly. But a separator, all that is something that we place between your teeth to allow some space to open up so that we can passively place an orthodontic metal band around your molars. What is a bite plane? That's another great question. A lot of times, if you look at patients, especially Caucasian patients, we have a population group who have pretty deep bites. In other words, if you were to bite down, and if your upper teeth cover more than 50% of your lower teeth, you have a fairly deep bite. Now, if you imagine placing brackets or braces on the lower teeth with that type of a bite, there's going to be a high chance probability that you're probably going to bite into them, which is not going to be healthy for the teeth above or the brackets below. So what we do many times to open what we call the vertical dimension is to place a bite plane that a patient will wear 24 hours a day except for eating and brushing. It is removable. It will be placed typically on the upper first molars, which are permanent teeth. So this works well with even mixed dentition or when kids have a mixture of adult and baby teeth, so that when the baby teeth do fall out, the fit of the bite plane still is independent of that because it's hooked onto the first permanent molars. You wear this for about 6 to 9 months, and by doing so, you are going to allow your posterior teeth or your back teeth to get a little longer, which will inevitably open up the fronts of your teeth so that you will not cover the majority of your lower front teeth when you do bite down. And that will be a tremendous advantage to us. We don't do this for every person, and there might be other instances where time is of the essence where we might have to forego this, but that's essentially what a bite plane does here at Excel Orthodontics. Rapid palatal expanders, or better known as RPEs or RMEs. And this is the appliance that is actually confused commonly with a separator. Now, the expander is something that we go ahead and use here at Excel Orthodontics in instances where a growing child who is typically under the age of 13 will come in, and the upper is actually narrower than the lower. In other words, you'll see that it's kind of like having a foot larger than the shoe size that you're wearing. The upper teeth were meant to drape over the lower teeth, and in instances where that is not the case, we can straighten the teeth out. However, the bite will not fit properly. And now that becomes a skeletal issue, not a tooth issue. And in order to correct that, we have to expand the upper jaw, which is not made out of one plate of bone. The roof of your mouth is not one plate of bone. It's actually 2 plates of bone fused together with a suture. When you're young enough, you can actually move those sutures gradually. And by doing so, you can get what we call skeletal expansion. And the appliance that is used for that is called the rapid palatal expander. It is a device that is either glued in or it is removable. We prefer the glued in expander here because there have been too many instances where patients have lost the expander or broken the expander or flatly just don't wear the expander, which is not going to work in that case. So we go ahead and glue this into the patient's mouth, and then you will be instructed a number of turns and given an interval when you will come back to see me for an appliance check to, number one, make sure that the appliance is functioning properly, but also that the turns are being performed properly as well. Do the expanders hurt? Well, when they go in, they probably feel more cumbersome and, again, irritating and annoying than hurting. I've never really have had too many patients complain about pain associated with an expander, but they have definitely told me that there was an adjustment period where they were slurping quite a bit while they're eating. Manners at the table became an issue because of the sounds that they were making, and that's very unavoidable because you're trying to slurp out that little piece of food that might sit on top of the expander between the roof of your mouth and the screw itself. So at this point, we ask the parents to just bear with the patient at that point, and we apologize in advance for any etiquette issues that might arise from that. But really, does it hurt? No, I don't think it hurts at all. And all the parents and the patients that I've talked to have pretty much backed that up and validated that. They say that they might feel some pressure or some tingling in the nose area because they're seeing they're feeling the expander actually widen, and that's what they're equating as the sensation there. It's not really a form of pain per se that I've heard from patients for those that have the expander in their mouths. How do you adjust the expander? Well, you will be given a special key that will turn that. And again, we are very high and here at Excel Orthodontics about instruction. So we are going to emphasize instruction here. When you get that appliance, and any appliance for that fact of the matter, we are always going to spend a great chunk of time upon how to care for those appliances, how to use them, and how to turn keys, especially in the cases of expanders. But you will definitely be given the instruction, and we will even demonstrate to you how to turn the key, and then we are going to, in return, expect you to demonstrate that to us here in the chair before you leave. So that is the extent that we try to instruct every patient and parent before they leave with their appliance, so they know exactly what they're doing so that we can maximize the efficiency here. Well, that's all for today's segment, and we will see you back here for the next segment so we can answer additional questions about life after braces. Stay tuned.